Hi, my name is David Benkof, and I'm a frequent presenter at Limmud conferences worldwide. My sessions discuss Jewish cultural products like poems and musicals and fiction and poetry, films and jokes and lyrics, thus broadening the definition of what a Jewish text can be. Now, since 2015, my presentations and workshops have been analyzing these cultural products with Limmud participants all over the world. I have a sizable but not unlimited budget for travel to Limmud conferences and scholar in residencies, and right now I'm booking my travel for 2019. I'm based in Jerusalem, so travel to Europe is fairly easy. I'm also looking at 2 to 3 trips to North America, and I can go elsewhere as long as I receive the invitation early in the year. The rest of this video presents highlights of some of the sessions that I offer. They include Philip Roth 101, Jewish Broadway in 2019, When a Jewish Opinion Gets at Your Kishkas, and Great Poems of the Holocaust Era. I can teach in English, French, German, Italian, and Hebrew. I enjoy teaching both adults and teenagers. I can be reached at DavidBenkof@gmail.com or country code 1-314-201-1552. That's an American number, but I'm on Israel Standard Time most of the year. I look forward to hearing from you. I've made you a booklet that has a description of and a highlight from a lot of Philip Roth works.
Are these by chance in the order you've recommended for reading them?
No, but then you got this sheet, which gives, and we'll talk about this later, this tells you where I think you should start, and what you should do next, and what you should do next. So if that's what you came here looking for, you got it.
Okay.
Well, the works are deep, and there are a ton of dissertations about Philip Roth. He's got a lot of symbolism that is totally at the surface. And one of the places that I like his symbolism is in the names of his characters. Goodbye Columbus, the main character, which you see from the movie about Goodbye Columbus, you see him in a library. His name is Klugman. Klug in Yiddish or German is smart or clever, right? He's a Klug man. His first book, Goodbye Columbus, to his last book, Nemesis, both of which are great. There's 51 years between them. That just doesn't happen. It didn't happen to Shakespeare. This is a remarkable career of great book after great book after great book. If all goes well, you're actually going to leave here with a skill. You're going to know how to do something you didn't know how to do, and it's something that very well may change the way you look at Jewish texts forever. And I'm not exactly. Okay, what we're going to learn about today is a chiasm, C-H-I-A-S-M, which is like a palindrome, only it's for words or ideas or phrases. I love this one. The Tower of Babel's story is built like a tower. Now look at the beginning, look at the end. The phrase whole earth, all the earth. Language. It's a prayer that has 46 words, and yet it's got A, B, C, D, E, F, F, E, D, C, B, A in 46 words. Let's look at it. Ahavat. What is that parallel to at the end? Ohev. Ohev Amo Yisrael. Olam. Le'olamim. They're just a key structure in the Torah, so we have to know about them. If the Torah was filled with limericks, we'd need to know about limericks. I've created a bunch of different sheets with chiasms that I want you to work on. The Jews did not vote. In most cases, they didn't serve in the army because they didn't have a relationship with the state. They had a relationship with the Jewish community. Their choices for jobs were limited. The two big things that are the opposite of emancipation.
The Holocaust.
The Holocaust. Okay, the Jews were back in ghettos, right? They lost their citizenship. They couldn't vote. They couldn't have all the professions that they want. This was deliberate by the Nazis. And you know what else the Nazis did? They gave the Jews corporate autonomy again. The Jewish councils in the ghetto. What's the other big opposite of emancipation in Jewish history?
Israel?
Zionism. Zionism says you are not ever going to integrate into France. You will never be French. You are Jewish. You will only succeed with your own autonomy if there was ever a Sanhedrin in America and you were called to come together and answer questions that non-Jews have about Jews today in Arizona. But if people had a chance to say, Jews, what's the deal with X? Dual loyalty. Are you, if America and Israel fought a war, who would you side with? Good. What else?
I've had people ask me, why don't I celebrate Christmas?
That's a great one.
Why are Jews so powerful?
Why are Jews so powerful? That's really good. Where they all express their prayers.
Where their sadness
Now listen to this.
There's a man here in town. He's lived here nearly his entire life.
They looked at this town and they found one bottle of Manish. That's only Hanukkah. Ben Platt's performance as Evan Hansen. But you don't see an actor, you see a character.
We start with stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong. But every sun doesn't rise. And no one tells you where you went wrong.
This is a once-in-a-generation performance. And he is really, really Jewy.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
We're going to be doing this. We're going to be looking at some texts that really get to us. We tend to live in our bubbles, try to figure out where the person is coming from, why they might feel that way. And I'm just looking for an adjective. Disturbing. Uneasy. Incredible.
Bouquet is in the long term,
Yeah.
and which is like we won't see it anyway.
And remember, this is in the context of coming after a whole generation of every federation meeting. They say Jewish continuity, right? That's the term. You got to pick a subject that triggers you. This one says, and get ready, it is okay not to circumcise Jewish boys. Good Jews must live in Israel. This is probably the most famous Holocaust poem in Hebrew, and it is completely inscrutable. It was to me the first time I read it. What Jewish holiday is this poem about?
My first thought was Tisha B'Av, but
It's not Tisha B'Av.
my next thought was Yom Kippur,
Why?
because it's the holiday when things are sealed.
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevun. On Rosh Hashanah, it gets written. Ubiyom Tzom Kippur Yikatevun. And on Yom Kippur, it gets sealed. So this poem is written in pencil in the sealed railway car. So therefore, theme of the holidays, it's a poem about. What's the word that would describe
Forgiveness.
It's a poem about forgiveness.
It's Russia under the communists, and there's an announcement there's going to be a meat shipment, and the line starts.
Bloody Jews, they only get the best.
All right, tell the middle.
So the line starts the night before. It's 5 blocks long.
Minus 28.
Waiting. 10 o'clock in the morning, official comes out. He says, "I regret to say the shipment will be smaller than expected, and later than expected. All the Jews can leave the line." So all the Jews leave the line. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, smaller than expected. All the non-party members can leave the line. 6 o'clock at night, he comes out. He says, "No meat shipment." So the party members are walking away and saying, "You see, the Jews, they get all the advantage."
It's not that hard to find imagery in symbolism that says something. What do you see? What is the cabaret?
To symbolize the Nazis, like the swastika, the
Nazi colors are black, white. I never thought of that. I see something else with black, white, and red, but yeah, that's a Nazi uniform. Always learn from my students. So what else is going on? Other senses of what this might represent or symbolize. You got it right.
What is that?
It's a bit.
Hellish.
How do you get into the cabaret? You take an elevator? You walk down steps. What does the MC hold in his hand? Almost all the time. It's a cane or walking stick. Maybe he represents a guy with a pitchfork, at least on some level, right? So maybe this is Hitler.